Alright guys, it's go time for the Flo Pro 5-inch. So here I am. I just kind of have everything laid out and mocked up according to the directions, the instructions, just making sure we've got all the correct parts and pieces and that everything is going to go together smoothly for the install. We start at the downpipe, expands to the 5-inch, eliminates the catalytic converter, the DPF. We are into the tiny, yet very shiny muffler, if that's what you want to call it. And right out to the end. Looks like everything should install and line up quite well. So far from what I see, we may have to trim a little bit out the back when we go to install the tip, depending on how we want that to look and where we want it situated. But other than that, this is the exhaust system. So far everything looks good. Fitment is beyond perfect. You really couldn't ask for anything more. Super pleased with it so far. We'll see how I feel after we install it though. We'll go from there. Alright guys, here's the part we all been waiting for. Going back together with the Flo Pro 5-inch stainless exhaust system and the Duramax. Since we got everything all mocked up, we know everything's going to go together smoothly. We know we're not missing any pieces or components. All the clamps are individually boxed and all here. So the instructions are pretty clear and straightforward. This will actually probably be much simpler than removing all the factory garbage we did here in the last video. It's got to start with the front here, mount it to the downpipe. Obviously we're going to leave everything nice and loose. We're just going to get it hung on all the hangers. Get everything started at this point. Reading through the installation instructions, the only real issue that I have or that I see with their instructions is, I don't know if you guys can read this or not. Number 3, it says temporarily hang the muffler in factory rubber hanger. You will need to support front of muffler so that muffler is level with truck frame. So if you paid any attention to the muffler, how exactly are we supposed to hang that in the factory rubber hanger? Here, let's take a look at the muffler, see what I'm talking about. Yeah, there is nothing on that muffler to hang it in the factory hanger. Then it has us go to step 4 and install the other pieces of pipe in front of and behind the muffler, which, as you can see from the picture, those are the pieces that actually have the hangers to mount. So we're going to have to goof with that, figure it out. It still seems relatively straightforward. I think I can manage. But it just seems like a little bit of piss poor instructing, if you ask me. Technically, you're going to have to put those pieces in there to utilize the hanger so that you can hang the muffler. But either way, shouldn't be a big deal. Other than that, it all looks straightforward. So here we go. Can't wait to hear what she sounds like. Alright, so pardon my videography skills. I'm going to do the best I can to try and capture as much of the install detail as possible. We'll see how well that works out for me. So the piece really slid right into place. You really can't see it from here, but utilized the factory hanger, just slid right in from the back going forward. We just got to get things lined up here at the downpipe, and we're going to get our clamp installed. We're reusing the original clamp. Okay, so I can see right now, right where I place the camera is going to be in my way. So as you can see, I'm going to wrestle the clamp in place. Pretty self-explanatory. We'll see if we can readjust and pick up here where we left off. Okay, sorry about that guys. Like I said, I put the camera in a bad spot. Had to wrestle myself over the tire here to get in there and fight it. Actually found it better to get in there from the bottom. As you can see, it kind of sits at a funky angle, so I was able to push up on it, push it against the flange on the downpipe, and then get the clamp started. It's just started, it's snug, just enough to keep it from falling apart. Things aren't tight yet. Let's go under here and take a look at it. Okay, there she is. Like I said, slips right in there, right the factory hanger. The next step, the instructions actually had us put the coupler on here. I just stuck it all on before I put it on the truck, slid it all in one piece. Got another style of clamp here. We'll snug that up later. just like I pointed out in the instructions earlier, the next step is going to be the muffler, so we'll start trying to figure that out and I'll wrestle that into place. Okay guys, so here we are. Like I said, I kind of ignored the instructions and I just picked up right where I left off, just hanging the pipe front to back, mounted it in the hangers, and once I got that piece hung, obviously I was able to stick the muffler right on there, which hung in place all by itself. No need for jack stands. Hung the back piece and then right out the tailpipe. Guys, I am super pleased with this kit. Huge shout out to Flo Pro. Definitely worth the money. I did a bunch of research and I was looking at cheaper kits and just about every manufacturer out there under the sun, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Of course, listening to sound bites, which I'll give you of this once we're all done with it, of course. But this thing, literally, I slapped this thing together under here in like 15 minutes. It could not have gone together any smoother, which was exactly what I wanted. Everything lined up absolutely perfect. I highly recommend this kit to anyone. Obviously, I still got to throw the clamps on, which aren't a big deal. Another one of the big reasons I bought this kit was because of those stainless band clamps. Super slick. They wrap around there, you run a couple of nuts and bolts down, and they stretch the crap out of themselves over all the fittings. Super great seal, easy to use. I've used those at my past employers, and I love those clamps. So once again, that's where we're at. Totally stoked about it. Can't wait to get her finished up here. I'll get all the clamps on here next, and we'll go from there, guys. Okay guys, bear with me. I'm going to try and demonstrate one of these clamps I was just talking about for you. Got the camera in kind of a precarious position here, so hope to God it doesn't fall. So I don't know if you can tell from the video. Now this clamp is actually stepped, so just pay attention if you're using them. Don't try and put it on backwards, or odds are it isn't going to seal well. Just something to be mindful of. Couple of 9/16 bolts. Some of you may have used these before, others these may be completely foreign to you. I know we're all on different levels, so I'll go ahead and demonstrate how it works here. You can see how it all comes apart. This is what it threads into. You put it around, get the bolt started, and I'll wrench her down. I don't know if you can see from the camera there. Kind of get things in position here. You're gonna have to stretch it a little bit to get things started. That's the idea. Once you wrench it down, you're stretching it. It's not a ton of room to play with there. That's kind of the way you want it. I don't want any exhaust leaks. This one actually is not too bad at all. I've had them where you're just fighting them and stretching a little bit to try and get a thread or two started, but that was a piece of cake. I'll make sure we got them good and started well before we go throwing any torque on them. So make sure we're all situated into place here. I'm going to pivot it a little bit so that the threads and whatnot might be shielded from some dirt. I mean, depending on how much mudding you're doing off-roading, it's going to get where it gets, bottom line. Try and protect the threads a little bit, though. I don't know how well the camera's picking up on detail. If you can see that clamp literally stretching around that fitting. That's exactly what we want. And that's as tight as she's gonna go, guys. So we got 3-4 more to install, and exhaust system install is really complete at that point. Not sure if I pointed this out already to you guys or not, at the sake of potentially being redundant. These are all the clamps. I just wanted to show the care that Flo Pro has taken as far as even packaging this whole kit. I don't know if you You guys may not have seen the other video, the actual unboxing of the Flo Pro system when I first got it, but this is insane to me. These guys have taken and individually packaged and labeled each and every clamp for you. Just shows the care that they put into this kit. Keep them from getting mangled or bent up in shipping with the other pipe. Who knows what the exact reasoning is, but I'm pleased with it. Something else I wanted to point out to you guys. I got a standard bed truck. I had to do no cutting. Everything lined up and fit absolutely perfect. If you have a short bed truck, they do say you may have to, and probably will have to, cut and trim the length off one of the pipes. And if you happen to have the long bed truck, it also does come with an additional piece of pipe for you guys with the long bed. I said it's labeled and numbered, and in those instructions where to put it, just like every other piece in the kit, which makes it totally slick. Not a piece that I need obviously for my truck, but for you guys that may, just so you know, it is included.